Post-trade deadline mailbag coming out of our live trade deadline coverage. What a day it was. Logan Wilson, Quinnen Williams, plenty of breakdowns available for you on the channel. So make sure you guys check those out. A bunch of that stuff will be linked in the comments in the description of today's show. Bode Shannon having some fun. Says Druski or Terence Steele at right tackle. Can I go on a bit of a rant here? What does Druski actually do? He doesn't actually do anything. He's just there. He's just like, oh, he's in a commercial again. Oh, he's doing a skit. But what does he actually do? He is funny, but he was just like, is he an industry plant? I throw that out there. Because yeah, but how did he get to be so popular and famous? He just didn't do anything. I don't know. It's fine. He is funny, so it's fine. I guess Terence Steele, but there are definitely some very funny Druski skits. So, William Cook, $5. Who loses snaps at defensive tackle, really? Look, I think you're going to have a little bit less for Solomon Thomas. Maybe you actually get to dial back Clark and Osa and keep them fresher, by 5 or so snaps. And then you do get to probably not play Joia at all. / Mozzie Smith, who was also obviously traded as part of the Quinnen Williams blockbuster trade. Waters Gaming. This is a fire trade deadline. What are your thoughts? It's aggressive. They are not normally like this, and they did do a little bit more on that front. It was an aggressive trade deadline for the Cowboys, which at least they have laid out a plan. They're not just riding the fence anymore. It might not work out. Odds are nothing works out for you because this is how it goes. Just you never get the things the way you want them to go, right? It's always something doesn't quite go your way on that front. It's hard to win championships, but I do think trying to win not so much this year, but the next couple years, you have to nail this draft, by the way, now, this upcoming one. At least your plan is we're going for it with Dak Prescott. Instead of hey, we're just riding the fence. I don't like fence riding. Either be aggressive or rebuild. They picked aggressive. So grade the Cowboys trade deadline for me. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Grade the Dallas Cowboys trade deadline. A, B, C, D, or F. Ecuador man AOG with your second first-round pick, Caleb Downs, or a future first one to come trade up. I probably have to spend my first-round pick on Caleb Downs. I doubt he falls into the 25th spot, whatever it is, when the Cowboys pick with the Packers selection, whatever. But in general, trade down in round 1 or take Caleb Downs, even if it's that pick 12, 15, whatever it is. I'd probably take Caleb Downs. I think he's a special player. If I can still pull off what the Rams did last year and I get extra draft capital, or if I just trade down to get some day 2 picks this year, I am doing that. I am very light on day 2 picks right now. I've got none, actually. I've got 2 firsts this year, no second, no third, a 4, probably going to have 2 fifth-round picks, and a 7. I do need some more draft picks, frankly. Michael, a $5 super chat. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Zuzba, however you pronounce it. If I got it wrong, I'm terribly sorry. Is the season over? Any chance of making the playoffs? I can... Let me pull this up here. I can get the exact, current playoff odds right now. It's not great. It's not over, but, the odds are very much against you. Next Gen Stats has it as a 5% chance. You needed that win over the Cardinals. That one hurt you. Instead of being, to fall back to where you are, that one stings. Because you're behind Arizona in tiebreakers. You're ahead of them in real life. You're behind the Panthers and Bears in tiebreakers. You almost have to just cheer super hard against Philadelphia, choking. They already have 6 wins. That feels unlikely. Today's show is made possible by PrizePicks. You and I Hey, look, we love football. The hard-hitting football action is even better with PrizePicks, though. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. Keep the season rolling on PrizePicks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. It is the only app to offer stacks. Pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. You want to pick more on Josh Allen passing yards, rush yards, touchdowns. Pick them all in the same lineup via PrizePicks. Also, check out the feed tab. You can follow other PrizePicks players directly on the app. Harrison, our Bears host, hooking up this one for the Sunday power play. Caleb Williams more than passing yards. Jackson Dart more than passing yards. I like it. I think it's going to hit. If you haven't already, go download the PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Links to the comment section and the description of today's show. From Grimes, do the Cowboys or draft defensive help this offseason? Yes, they are going to draft defensive help. They will certainly not ignore that one. Like, that is not going to be a thing that they do. Like, they are not going to ignore defense. They're going to go heavy on defense probably. They will target that significantly. And they have to get these picks right. These picks coming up matter so much for you being an actual team. If you can't draft, that's what the Cowboys operate. If you can't draft, it's over. It's done. You're cooked. You have to draft well. Elite TV Gamer. Any defensive coordinators who run a 5-2, why pick which defensive tackle left out? We can have the whole buffet. It's funny. You want to go see if Buddy Ryan wants to help you out a little bit there, or maybe Rex Ryan can do it. I'm kidding on Buddy Ryan for obvious reasons, unfortunately. I mean, it's fun. Not the modern NFL. They did 5-man front stuff though against the Cardinals, and they'll do more of that. But it's going to be edges involved too. David Ellswick, Arvell, Reese, or Caleb Downs in round 1. Give me Arvell, Reese. I don't think he's there. I think you're going to be drafting whatever best case, worst case, however you want to frame it. Like, what? 10, 12 again, 13, something like that mindset. I don't know if there's 5 better players than Arvell Reese who can do everything in a linebacker, including rush the passer. I don't think there's 5 better players than Caleb Downs, but he's a safety, and safeties don't always go as early. So there is a chance that Caleb Downs slides to wherever you're picking. That pipe dream is maybe semi-realistic. Now, the playoff push is going to be almost impossible for Dallas. Be honest with me. Will they make the playoffs, or is this about setting up for 2026 and beyond? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Y for yes, N for no. AJ Phillips, Cowboys, when Quinnen's contract is up, what money might I think he is worth? I mean, you've got a long time to go on that front. Let's see how it plays out. He'll be in his 30s by then, or you can send him now and maybe save some money. I don't know how much it's going to cost him. We'll keep an eye on it, but that's might be an offseason thing, might not be, but it's probably a decent chunk of change, which is why you're probably not going to invest in. But also, like, you're going to save money short term because, like, you're riding with, the signing bonus gets restructured, so you're not actually adding that much more cash to you. We'll see, but it'll be a lot. It'll be premium money, frankly. Roman, a $5 super chat with Quinnen. We have a fear factor, which will take the focus off other players, making it easier on the rest of the offensive line. I do agree. I do think, like, he's not Micah caliber, but, like, that is someone, like, okay, we have to game plan for Quinnen Williams now. Like, you haven't had that without Micah Parsons. You haven't had someone opposing teams have had to game plan for. Now you do. Not the same caliber. It's different, but that does matter. We'll have a lot of videos for you throughout the rest of the week. We'll be live again on Thursday. This will probably go out after Thursday's live show, so I shouldn't have said that, but whatever. Bye week is here. We'll still have videos for you. Hit that sub button so you don't miss out. Jared Knoll, do we have the best defensive tackle room in the NFL? I got to do some thinking here. The Chiefs one is pretty good. The Steelers and Eagles are both really good. I think, what am I missing here? The Ravens are all banged up, so we can't pick them anymore. I'm just trying to go through all these options. Oh, shoot, it might be Seattle. Seattle might be the right answer there, depending on how you count some of those players. Leonard Williams is so good. Byron Murphy's taking a step forward, like Jaron Reed. Yeah, I mean, if Walter Nolan keeps up, I guess Arizona is a team to watch there. I still like Philadelphia a lot on the interior. Yeah, I guess I think you're in the top 5. That matters. That matters. Thank you, Jared. Caesar. Tom is 10, 6, and 1, enough to make a wild card spot, or do we need the division? I would be surprised if you won 10 games and did not make the playoffs. Now, the Bears have to collapse. The Panthers have to struggle down the stretch. One of the Niners, Lions have to kind of come back down to earth, but I think 10 wins would get you in, because that NFC North is going to cannibalize each other a little bit. They all have to beat each other. So I would think 10, 6, and 1 gets you in. Doesn't guarantee it, but I would think. However, that's going on an incredible run down the stretch. That probably isn't going to happen. E2K, are we giving up on drafting a running back then? I could still, maybe you just sign a veteran. Like, maybe that's what you do. And you just ride with a vet and Javonte again. Or you spend a day 3 pick on one. You spend a 5th round pick on a back. Honestly, I don't love the early vibes on this class outside of Jeremiah Love, who you should not spend a 1st round pick on because you got to fix your defense. But I don't love those other options. Someone will emerge, I'm sure. But give me your Cowboys record predictions in 2025. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Predict the Cowboys record in 2025. King Ishmael TK, Cowboys said ESPN the Jets get an F grade or A grade, and the Cowboys got an F grade. I haven't looked at what their grades were. They did give him an F. If you only judge this through the lens of 2025, it doesn't make any sense. That's not what this is. This is also about multiple years. I would have been much more upset with Straight if you had moved your own 1st round pick this year. I think that would have been a mistake. But it's next year's first. It's not the same. I do think there was immense value with Quinnen Williams. So I'm not sure I agree with ESPN's analysis there. What they give the Sauce Gardner trade? They gave the Colts a D. I guess they're consistent, but I think the Gardner trade was worse for Indy. But $5, Hayden Miller. Love the trade. This is our last question, by the way. We've needed a fatty in the middle for a while. How does this affect Osa and Kenny Clark? Who do you start next year and who leaves next year? Let the year play out. You're kind of letting Osa and Clark fight for a job, right? Because I don't think you're going to keep both of those guys with the sizable contract they're on. That would not make sense to me. I would anticipate one of those guys being gone.